should be working. I think. It's been a while since I've streamed. So hopefully I'm doing this right. Okay. Yep, it says I'm live. Even better. So we'll get this minimized to the right. I'm using Streamlabs, so it might be a little hit and miss, and you might be sitting there saying, "Well, what are we building?" Well, I've been working on a my own Telegram /Telegram bot sort of clone, and the reason this sort of came about is I had built loops for managing social media, things like that. And eventually I found the sheer frustration of having to deal with, the Telegram spam. Like people just freaking sending you messages out of the blue. You don't even know who these people are. And I didn't want to deal with all that noise. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, sort of do my own thing. So right now, what I've been iterating on is the version of this to where it can manage my social media, right? And the way it sort of works is it involves a Chrome desktop protocol, which will basically make it to where, let's see if I can bring this atop of this. I need to figure out how to do a scene switcher or something. But there is a CDP script that will then take control of the browser, right? And the way it sort of works is that it's going to go hit this home page, and then it's going to look to obtain, stuff about posts from the feed right here. Because I use this to essentially save me like hours and hours and hours of just scrolling. Because if you're trying to grow a following on X and just about any other platform, you're going to find out that, well, you sort of need to be, chatting or engaging, replying, things like that. And since I started doing this, and I'll show you this. So if I go to Premium Analytics, so July 5th is when I first started invoking those loops to find the stuff. So the first day, I was just like letting it learn. And then you'll see it started getting more. And so I was, don't get me wrong, I'm still doing a lot of replying, right? But that's the part that I like. I like engaging with people. And then I had this one day where I had a tweet, not necessarily, I don't want to say viral, but it had like over 8,000 like views, and it had like over like 80 comments. And so I invested my time to reply to all of those. So that was a big day. And then yesterday, you'll see it hit 105. So you see it sort of came down because it was just Friday. I was busy with work. I couldn't really, spend any time doing it. So I had to kind of make it for it later in the day. And then today I've already been fairly active. And so that's kind of what's going on there, right? So the script, so I can kind of try to showcase this for you. So y'all can see the x.com feed. I'm just looking at the delay of the video here. So we have this, right? So what I'm going to do is go into what I just call this thing LoopBot. And I can already tell this is going to be hard to do because I have to put LoopBot on top if it will let me. I'll get my wings about myself here in a second. So that's Claude code. So LoopBot is, so you should see it showing up on your screen like here any moment. And is there a way to adjust these settings to where it's like, it says ultra low latency. I'm just seeing a little bit of a delay. But you'll eventually see this appear right here. And so the way it sort of works, I can tell it to, of course, I need to get myself up big because I had it. So there's a lot of stuff that's built into this. There is basically a version that I built for myself, like it's like an obsidian vault, and it has a way of building its own memory, learning from itself, things of that nature, which is, stuff's like really important. Why is that not updating? Okay, I just got to click live. That's why. Okay, so and so the problem I just had with it is that it went to, and there's a little bit of a bug because what it would do is when it would go open the tab in a tab group in Chrome, it was sort of closing the tab too soon. And this sort of came about because if I have two, we'll call them loop agents, right? Like these two. In the beginning, they would share their own tab, and that quickly, obviously, is a bad idea, right? So, I had to make it to where it could have it in its own tab groups. And then it had to kind of go through an iteration. So let's see here. So let me browse your home feed. I need to be sure the browser came back empty again. So let me see what Claude came back with, because I had Claude work on fixing it. The root cause of regression, because when it went to make it to where you can do the two tabs, there has to be an easier way in Streamlabs to make it to where we can maybe see some of these things. So I'm going to bring Claude Code to the top. So I might have to do this just where I drag them into view. I don't know. So Claude went to attack this issue, and it found that there was a regression that was caused by this whole concept of if we had two tabs. It's like, how do you, if you have one tab open and then you have another agent that was going to go use that same tab, it would basically hijack the other one. And we obviously don't want that. We want them to run in parallel. So they each gets their own tab group is basically the solution that it does. It says the fix is persistent bot tabs, which it has now. So I need to go in here and reload the Chrome extension. So we'll do that. And then let's see here. Restart the LoopBot desktop app, which it reloads on its own quickly by default. And then it's going to have it go to the feed again. So what I'm going to do is adjust the windows here. We're going to put LoopBot on top. And I need to get I have an Endato thing you can push on the buttons, but it's not on this computer. So what I'm going to do is move Claude Code to the bottom. And then what you're going to see is I'm going to go into LoopBot, and then I'm going to tell it to try again, right? And we're going to kind of see you should see the Chrome browser become active, and it should navigate it to the home page. Or did it put it in it put it into a different, hold up. So this might be another thing for me to do. So let me drag this into view over here. So it had put it, since I have two Chromes open, even though they're in the same profile, it put it on the other one. So it went to this, and let's see, it says the page came back empty again. So we still have a regression that we're having to work our way through. So I'm going to sit there and say, how about you just go to x.com home first, then don't do anything. We want this thing to learn from itself, people. Okay, so it went there, right? And okay, so far, so good. Okay, So perfect. Now I can see your feed here, the two posts. And then let's see here. So it says, of course, it's saying Pavlos is at the top, but Pavlos is not. Where is it getting that from? I knew it. Oh, okay. It is right there. My new AW. So the way this sort of works, and of course, this part is doing it fine. But the thing that it's not doing is giving those to me as links I can click on. Okay, and so I need to say, did you find the links for that? And see, this is where it's messing up right there. We're saying status ID. I need actually to extract the ID from the DOM links. Yes. There it goes. Okay. So it's getting those. So that's good. But, okay. What's it doing? Okay, so like I can, and this is going to be the problem. I need to have this browser here focused, and then if I click on that, it'll take them to it, right? And of course, this is probably the issue right here, that little appendage. And so I'm going to let it know should be to the 2.4. Okay, and then okay, are you keeping this in mind for your extractor? Because it has the ability to build its own extraction scripts. That way, when it goes to the browser, it can actually perform an operation without having to do all of an LLM sort of lookup. And so it figures out how it solves the problem. It puts that into a small script that it can then run against the browser, and it's like a very, very fast process. And it gives you back all the stuff that you wanted, right? So it's a good catch. No, I'm not extractor. Cleans it. Okay. Yes, and then let's test the extractor. And I need to get these windows rearranged to where this is easier for me to see. And this way the chat is always to the side. Can I pop it out? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, YouTube. So I'm going to pause that. Minimize that. We'll keep the chat showing here on my side. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Extractor came back to empty again. The home page. Okay, the page is fully. Are you? For the page to load before the extractor runs. That's a good question. I don't know. There's a wait built in. See if it waits to load before this tries to run. Give me a second. Yes. Run it with a little bit of delay because I think that it's actually hitting the page too fast, too soon. And that is essentially creating its own problem. Okay, so now I'm I'm gonna close these tabs because I want it to do it on its own. So I'm gonna delete the group, delete, 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 and then we're gonna say, okay, run it again. And we should see, here, no, run the entire process. I'm testing the browser. Okay, so it's supposed to run the whole process. So you see a loopbot tab over here. I'm just going to click on that. There it goes. Now, you need to return those as buttons, though, so I can click from the chat. Yeah, because last night was a crazy night with this thing, like 6 hours, and I have I literally have a website, I have this desktop app, I have a mobile app, like it's a lot. All right, so let's see here. So if I click these, what does it give me? There we go. That's exactly what I want. I want to be able to click on it. It says, hey, founders list, generate some serious traffic, promote your project URLs. I'm just going to like that. I'm not going to do anything with it. Go to Jonas. What's he got? The best engineer, stop using her keyboard, just talks to like a voice thing. And of course, now this one here, it seems like on X that everybody's just copying what everybody else is doing, because this is like the 6th time I've seen this. But I'm going to sit there and say that's very cool. Voice agents are powerful. And I might show y'all Grok, because I have the ability to create the Grok voice agents, which is like really, really cool. So I'm going to like this. Do I follow Jonas? You know what? We're going to follow Jonas, right? Did I not? Oh, I got a reply. There we go. So we'll close that. We're going to go to the next one. Right, but you see how easy this is? Is that the loop bot gives me these little buttons right here I can click on to do that. And I wonder if I can set that. Let me try to set this up to where we do that. I'm going to try to put this just on the side. And then we'll put Chrome back up over here. And I'm also curious, well, I don't want to resize the browser, but I want y'all to be able to see kind of what I'm typing with it here. And then I'm going to click on that last one, right? Learning to cold call as hard as it's, so learning to program the differences. Once you master cold calling, you'll never be broke again. That's true. Very, very true, because most people are terrified to pick up the phone, call somebody they don't know, in pursuit of trying to either create a connection or sell them something. And who was it? There was a guy I followed once. He talked about that if what do you say? By the time you've made your 100th cold call, you just might have found a way to change your own life. Like, it's like powerful stuff, very powerful. If you have the guts, but those that do never have a problem with eating or sleeping. Which is true, because, unfortunately, it takes money to, operate in this world, this existence, whatever you want to call this. Okay. So that works, which is good. And I'm going to go up here and close this tab, this group, because what I'm going to do now is have it. And of course, this is the desktop app. So it's pretty much, it's just a carbon copy of what you see in the desktop app. Of course, as you can imagine, that's for, keeps life simple, a unified experience. But now what I want to do is try the Reddit one. I'm going to sit there and say, run it again. And this should do the same in this process, but for Reddit. Have it set to go look at the Laravel new post. So, of course, there's been nothing really new, but it's still going to go look, even though I've already seen these. But what I'm probably going to have it do is I'm probably going to give it some more subreddits to maybe look at. So what are some subreddits? I definitely want Claude AI. So let's also remember to do this for the following subreddits. And then we'll have Claude AI, Claude Code, vibe coding's another one that I like. I like seeing what people are doing. So we're going to use it using the same extractor, and so this is where I should be able to just close that out, delete that group, right? I'm going to say give it a go. Now it helps if I put a space in it correctly. There we go. So it's going to go to Laravel and do it, and then we should see it go to Claude AI. See, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And then it goes to Claude Code. And then we should get some links here in a second. But as you see, it indicates that it's reading the page because I got these tool calls built into it. Almost done. Okay, so I'm going to take that out and make that bigger to where y'all can see it. But yeah, tour. So that was fine. Now, of course, it says filament. Building. I've got Laravel covered, but with the real permanence. However, notice you asked me to go to as well, but the browser finds only showing Laravel data. Like, yes. But be sure to remember this and update the script or whatever so we don't make this mistake again. Because while it did do what we wanted it to do, it didn't do a perfect job. So we're going to turn back on Chrome. And then we should have some stuff here in a second. All right, let's see. Here's the Claude code completed. Open Flare. I got tired of my agent building the same generic UI, so I get the real thing posted. However, I noticed the page finding don't include the direct Reddit comments permalinks in the links that I need to give you in order to grow the post. Post time. Let me save an extractor specifically for Claude. See, look at this. It's going to build its own extractor for that. Yes. And then at some point today, I'm going to have this add. I have a Node SDK that I built that I call Loop SDK, and it's sort of just it's like a handy little script to let you do like real loops, meaning you have like the control of the loop, and then you also have the ability to leverage the agent's intelligence, right? Um, is there a way to see numbers on here? Nope, it's just me. It's okay. We'll get there. I need to make sure that's showing up. So if I go to yeah. So yeah, it shows me there. Sweet. Not going crazy. Okay, so back to my thing here. So perfect. I found the data from Claude Code, so I should be able to click on View Discussion. And was that the right one? Yeah, even though I don't like the title of it. But as you see, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, Fable's unusable. What? And we were trying to create a research paper for this experiment I've been doing with different model, and this is sure. Let me tell you, if Fable is shitting the bed, when that is a clear indication that you're not prompting it correctly. Fable is one of the most powerful, most intelligent, well-performing models, even though it's hella expensive. But it gets the freaking job done. Oh, and that reminds me, I should probably. Can I share my? How do I? I need to. I want to share this on. I need to put this on X. All right. We'll send that out, and we'll see if we get some people in here. That way it's not just me. All right. So, but So we're going to give this task to old Claude, because I need to be able to take a screenshot and be like, hey, when I say this, this is what I mean. Because he should do that, and then you should have that, right? And that's the part that it's currently not doing. But we're going to get there. So let me go to Streamlabs, and I guess I'll drag old Claude up in here. No, make it bigger. Every time I get right there, there we go. I need to get my Stream Deck thing to where I can just toggle between these. Years ago, I used to run a streaming site, and I had the whole scene switcher thing dialed in, which was kind of nice. But let's keep an eye on old Claude here. And like I said, the back end uses Laravel AI. Now, Laravel AI does have a way to let you, bring photos or attachments, documents, whatever, into context. But we'll see how well it does, because it's going to have to make it to where you can drag drop it into the chat there. Now, is there a way that I can add, while this is also doing this, I want to add how to do a video capture. Here we go. Add source. Add source. Gonna put me over here. Make me nice and small, but I am here. And then while it's doing that, I want to look, see if what our stats have been for. And we've had 12 views. Not bad. But we need more concurrent views. What's going on with X? No, x.com. Old Claude's at work. And then we're just going to sit here and keep an eye on that, because it's going to take Claude a minute to do its thing. But this gives me a chance to do a little social media engagement. What's everybody up to this weekend? Everybody having a good time? But I can tell you one thing, the whole CDP dev scripts thing, that's such a helpful feature. It really, really is. Because I don't know if any of y'all has ever had to build browser extensions. Extensions could be a little bit of a pain, but this makes it so nice, so easy. You can let AI drive it. Stream health. Stream is healthy. Wait, YouTube is not receiving data. Oh, that was message history. Oh, okay. So I can do that. Nice. Okay, Claude, what are we doing here? So working on the attachment controller. Yep. I'm going to move this over here so I can easily see when people show up. All right, so it's going to make it where you can add an attachment to the messages. Okay. Yeah, because we need to be able to drag and drop into that. Move that over for some sizing. And so while that's doing that, we'll just do a little scrolling of. But the LinkedIn one didn't go bad. It's just that, like I said, when it goes here, it's got to know to click there and then click there, push them into a list, and then life will be pretty easy peasy. How are we doing, Claude? Moving along. So you can now deploy. Yeah, it does all the work. There are so many AI built projects. I mean, the AI did work. They just ran out of passion. Yeah, but having this thing do the whole find engagement opportunities where you don't have to like scroll, and it's nice. It's really freaking nice. And of course by doing it through the CDP, you're not having to pay for XAPI, because you would be paying for all those API calls. And I don't know, was it the XAPI pricing? Like the pricing, the way they price, it gives me this feel like, I don't know if y'all have ever had to do any sort of integration with Google Places, that API. Yeah, when you work with that API, you're gonna be like, oh, I thought the pricing was straight through, or was straight and easy and simple. No, it's complicated, and that is sort of like that as well. Let's see here. So, of course, I think where they get you is it's like so now think about it. They say to read the post per resource. What is a resource, right? Inputs. You see what I mean? And so there's not. So even if you just zero this out, right? So you're not going to use it for any posts, any drafting, none of that stuff. Nothing for DMs. No user interactions, right? And you sit there and say you just want to read a post, and you want to read 5,000 resources a month. That's $25. You know what I mean? That's pretty pricey. Because I still don't know what, at least at this point in the page, what on earth a resource is in terms of pricing. It doesn't make any clear sense, right? So let's see here. See more resources. So look at that. List read. Charge per resource. Still no idea what on earth a resource is. Estimated total. But what is a resource, right? So this is where I'd have to ask Grok. Let's see here, Grok. On XAPI pricing, what does it mean by resource? Think about this. I'm having to go to Grok to be like, hey, what does that mean when you say resource? Because how I interpret a resource. Where is it at here? So think about, and of course, this is where I always refer to where it's like dealing with Google Places API, because a resource can be multiple things within one object, and that's sort of how they get you, because they're like, oh, do you want this? You want that? You want, next thing you know, it's not, half a penny. Every time you're doing this, costing you, 1 penny, 1.5 pennies, but since they don't give you the context of what a resource is, you got to go do your own little research. A resource refers to each. Oh yeah, here we go. Exactly what I'm talking about. Each individual data object returned in a read response. So for every individual object, so you have a JSON object, each time you have one of those within an array, they're going to hit you with 0.005. That's how they're doing it, and that's the problem with it, because you're saying I'm going to read a post. Well, now think about it. You're going to go. Let's say you go to a post, and let's go to one. So think about you went to a post, and you go to this one. Well, when you sit there and say, I want to read this post, do you think this is one object? Even though I've never seen their API or looked at it, I'm probably going to tell you that it's not. I bet you there's an object for this, an object for that, object for this. You get where I'm going? And so to read this one's probably going to cost you more than just 0.005. Now, I could be wrong. Anybody who actually uses, just leave a comment, a reply or something, because I'm not buying it. Which is why I'm not. That's why I say use CDP and go use X, right? Save y'all that money. And the other thing about using the API is I often wonder, okay, so let's see here. So here's some objects. So remember, data object. So you can have an array of objects, right? So, crap, I lost my train of thought. Anyhow, I'll come back to that thought eventually. It'll come back to me. Come to space, which is exactly why Anthropic and OPA are angling for the regulatory capture. They want to be the ones that control the moat. Everybody, all the AI frontier labs is so dangerous, but you know what? Trust us. Trust me. Trust my company. And can I just be real with y'all for a second here? Let's break this thought down for a second. And I'm gonna make myself just a little bigger here. Okay, let's think about it this way. If you are watching somebody say, AI is going to take all these jobs, it's going to cause all these things to happen, but oh my God, it's such great technology, right? But then you're not saying that you're the person that's actually doing that. So think about like Dario. He goes, AI is going to just like I say, you'll hear me say this a lot. Just replace AI with Anthropic, AI with OpenAI, AI with name any frontier lab that comes about. And they don't word it that way because they would sound horrible. But the thing is, they all fearmonger it, doom it, but at the same time, they're all working for an angle to be the one that gets to have all the control over it. And, well, that's a problem. So I'm going to go back to my corner. So we're going to check on old Claude. Okay, well, clicked on the wrong thing. Let's see what old Claude's working on. So Claude's almost done. Okay. Restarting the queue worker. Yep, URL mismatch. Yep. Photo upload is wired end to end. All 215 backend tests. Green, both apps built. Nice. Multi-part message included validators. AI bot brain. Dashboard. Okay. So it's saying that we can upload stuff. So this is where we got to get back into the LinkedIn example. So let me bring where am I at? Here we go. All right. We're going to go back into the LinkedIn one. Ooh, we have that. So I'm going to I'm going to hide Chrome for now. And so I want to point out the 3 dots. Oh, I need to be able to drag and drop it on there. It's not letting drag drop. That'll be a thing like this. So I just want to make sure that I can't, just so it's not. Okay. So, Claude, where you at, Claude? I need to be able to drag, drop a photo in, and also need to be able to have one or more photos total in a message when I send it. All right, how we doing? But as you saw, the little hiccup there is I went to drop it onto this clipboard thing. Now the clipboard piece works if you click on it, which I could probably get away with it right now. No, for some reason the screenshot did not take. But I wanted to where you can just screenshot and drag it over here, and that it would drop in that context. That's sort of like the goal I'm looking for, or the experience I'm looking for. Let's check and see what's going on next. Da-da-da-da. Okay. Whenever we post any feature, X already does this. X you copy. I haven't heard that. Oh, it doesn't do it. Just 100. Yep. Jeff. Then we're gonna say 100. Go. Say it with your chest there. Because he's right. Come on, is Dax ever wrong? You know, him and DHH, you know, we have some people in this community that, let me tell you, if you think you're going to win a debate on them being wrong, you might as well just throw your money away. Yeah. Oh, and how are we looking on my stats? Because engagements, I'm at 123. It's only 12:32 in the afternoon. So there's the web. Did it add it? Okay, there it is. Okay. All right, old Claude. How we doing? Because it's supposed to work on the... Yeah, the piece I'm really looking forward to is once I have this thing a little bit more dialed in, I'm going to be building a software factory. It's going to run in the cloud on a VM, and you're going to be able to have multiples of these, these agents. I call them loop agents, all running at the same time. Now, if the spec or graph design approach comes about, that's going to solve a lot of problems. Okay, so the desktop avatar intercepts, set drag and drop. Okay, now works in both. Okay, so I'm going to minimize Claude. I'm going to bring loopbot. Where's loopbot? Here we go. All right. And I'm unfortunately got to make this smaller to where it fits. So the goal now is I should be able to drag some stuff onto it. So what I want to do is give it some context about. There we go. You'll see the three dots. And then we're going to click it. And then you'll click it. And you click it. It loads this menu. Then you click copy link to post. Then just out of curiosity, is there a link? And that's the other thing, is like if you click link to post, and then it gives you that. A modal then appears that says view post. It's in the it's in the view post that the link we need for permalink is. All right. So, I have to adjust the styling on that. That's bright blue. That's okay. Okay, so perfect. I see it now. The flow is 3 dots. Modal appears, view post. Got it. Let me grab. I'll create that. So now, writer usable extractor. I'm going to approve it. I'm going to close that. Okay, give it a test. See how well it does. All right, so we have Chrome running. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on with the page with that big old gray area. I don't know what's happening right there. We'll see though. What on earth is going on? Is it a browser size issue? I know sometimes with browsers that let's see what it's saying. Okay, the script ran, but it found a problem. Links feed does not expose the permalinks directly in the HTML in a way to grab the permalink. Yes. And then I'm going to refresh that page. All right, so we're going to let it do that. I'm going to let it go back to the page. Yes, try it. So let's see if what happens here. So it's on the page. Oh, why did you go to X? Yeah, suckers. Because, God, I hate having to always drag these freaking things around. Yeah, because they went to X. I'm going like, what are you doing? Go to X. You need to go LinkedIn. Yeah, Let it do the walkthrough. Ooh, ooh. Y'all see that? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna wait for it to finish before I click on anything. I don't want to throw it off. It says Ollie okay, I see. Looking at the finder between the links list doesn't contain those posts. It only has profile links, hashtags. Okay. Okay. Well, how about this? Can you go to the first post and just click the 3 dots? We're gonna get this thing working. I'm too stubborn to give up. Okay, so where are you getting? Ooh, can I have it take a screenshot? Because this will be a thing I'll need to add into this if it doesn't have the ability, is for it to take a screenshot and send it to me. Okay, so this is where we're going to go to Claude. We're going to add a new feature. All right, Claude, where are you? Okay. We need to have the ability to capture screenshots of the page in the browser. And so this is, and of course, this sort of request is going to require a handful of things, because it's got to build it into the web app. Because the way this is designed is, now you think about, you would have your desktop app, the web app, which is in the cloud, and then your mobile device. I'm going to have this to where you can use your mobile device to basically make a request that goes to your local computer. So think if I was on my phone right now and I wanted to say, I need to go to this thing and take a screenshot. It could go off and do that, right? But we got to get that ability built into the loop bot. What's going on here? What are these 3 shields? Oh, okay. So schedule work, Chrome. Okay. Those are fine. I was pondering, like, what are you doing running 3 shells? But it's because it's running the app in the background. And then I think the next thing, or at some point, what I want to add into it is think of it as controlling the context window. So in this concept where I'm using a browser, or like a browser agent, if you will, it doesn't need to really care about how far back the content or the context window is. And so what I need to do is limit it to where it's not just everything, because right now I think half the reason why it's hallucinating is because it's just grabbing like every damn thing. And that reminds me, I need to go to platform and see what we're looking like. in terms of cost. Okay, so we've only spent a few bucks. Yeah, $2.51. So I can live with that. And believe it or not, I've had it do a lot, and I think it's running on Haiku. So Haiku is obviously keeping the cost down. So let old Claude do a little work. You know what I'm saying? Keep an eye on this thing. And if you're coming into the chat, say hello. Been working on a Telegram/Telegram bot clone system because I'm tired of dealing with the Telegram spam. Telegram's a great platform. They make it super easy to create a Telegram bot. However, I hate when I'm using Telegram and then you get people sending you like messages and shit, and you're going like, God, how do I keep this from happening? But as of right now, we have a web app that will be in the cloud. There is a Tari desktop app, which is what we're sort of iterating on. And then there is a Tari mobile app. So the majority of these I was able to get built last night in about a 6-hour run. So to high level it, think that you can, and I'll let me just go in here and bring the loop bot above Claude Code so we can see it here. So with the loop bot, and I don't know, I think that's a good name for it for now, but you can go in and create your own bots, right? So the ones we've been iterating on are for social media. So my X, my Reddit, and we ran into some stuff when trying to go after LinkedIn. Of course, I'll clean up the UI on this, but you can create a bot. You can come in here and you can chat with it. You can give it tasks to perform. It has a integrated Chrome extension, so it can actually interact with your browser, do a lot of stuff. It has an Obsidian-like vault system, so it can learn from itself. So it's coming along nicely. Bring that below, then I'll do that, and I'll put my webcam on top of it. There we go. I need to figure out how to hotkey this. Come on, old Claude. But Claude's been doing really well with these builds. What's going on, everybody? Leave a comment, say hi. Happy to hang out. Building a Telegram/Telegram bot clone. Got tired of dealing with the spam, so I'm like, you know what? I'm building my own. And believe it or not, a lot has been built. And the first things I'm sort of building on is a replication of what I had locally, which is just ways to manage my social media. Once I had this a little bit more dialed in, it's going to go straight for a software factory, which will it's going to be when it gets really fun, because I'm going to be doing virtual machines, and where you can have these agents just working on various projects in the cloud in parallel. And I'm going to have one of these. I'm going to end up having a bot that another bot added into this that would be sort of like the managing bot, and so I could talk to it, and then it would defer work to the other ones. So that's going to be where that concept's sort of going to evolve to. So okay, so it's adding a thing to add for the because when it's doing its tool calls to do things, it's going to let me know that it's taking a screenshot, which will be kind of cool. Feel free to chat, say hi. See, we got somebody in here. Nice. Need to figure out how to get some music streaming in this thing. But I'm just really impressed with how well Claude was able to do yesterday. Because, like I say, in 6 hours, it built three apps. And when I tell you everything worked, like everything. Everything since then has been just, you know, adjusting some of the behaviors, little things, but it did a very, very good job at building something that worked. My wife sent me a text. Last thing, she said she was driving to hit a big bug, so I said the last thing that went through its mind. Come on, Claude. All right. All right. So what bot can do? So now during a browse, the bot can capture a screenshot of the page and dual purpose. Nice. Get real context. Instructions. Yeah. Sweet. All right. So we got to we got an extension that we need to reload, and I'm going to turn Claude, bring the browser back, and then I'm going to move or adjust loopbot so y'all can kind of see what's going on there. Bring that to the side. Oh, I got more room to drag. Nice. There we go. All right. So, ooh, oh, the WebSocket. Okay, I can have it fix that. So we're going to clear all, go back, reload it. We have the connection, which is why you see the icon up here. So you have that. So, and then restart. It automatically reloads the desktop app, so I don't have to worry about that step. All right. So now we're going to go back to the feed, and what was the issue I had here? So go here. Okay, so provide me a screenshot of what you see, and this is the feature we just had it add into it, was the ability for it to generate its own screenshot from the browser. I need to be clear. What do you mean? It says you can. What did Claude say? Forgive me, my animals. Extension activate. We're gonna have to give this thing a screenshot. So take a screenshot of that and give this to old Claude. About to just have this thing just show my whole freaking desktop. Get tired of dragging windows around. All right. So what is old Claude saying? Yeah, I gave it I took a screenshot. I gave it to, so I gave the browse loop, but the bot's conversation with brain does not know that. So when you ask it directly, it declines. So okay, so you're going to need to add it into that agent's ability there, old Claude. Okay, critical, okay, so yeah, it's just updating its own prompt within the AI bot brain. Because it has it's been building out its own Obsidian-like vault, and there is a brain graph here. So you see how that's coming along? I think that's like really neat. So these nodes, some of these nodes you can click on, but if there's one that had to do with a task, you can see where it obtained that from. So that's kind of neat. So it's going to be able to evolve its own thinking and understanding. Okay, so we're going to let Claude finish doing what Claude's doing. Just some of my windows up here where things are a little bit easier to see. It's got to restart the queue. All right, now I'm going to tell it to try again. Try again. You should have the ability. Helps if I can type. The ability to. I'm looking forward to when I can build some voice agents into this. Okay. You're right. Let me catch a screenshot of your LinkedIn feed. Great. Now I can see the video. Your LinkedIn feed is open. Good. See? Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. LinkedIn news. JP Morgan. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Click the 3 dots. Yes, the 3 are next to the big X. So I was reading the page. I don't know if it's got the, because it says it has the permalinks captured, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's drag this over here to be on top. Might be easier to do it that way. There we go. And then how about just make that one bigger? Just so y'all can, I mean, I hope everything's able to be visible and whatnot, but there's only so much screen to go around, at least for the window. So, okay, so what happened here? So it took a screenshot. Yep. Okay, deep gram. I can see the post when so I was finding the okay. screenshot. The first one being the attached, you'll see the three dots next to the X. Why is it? Yeah, that's wrong. Next, AI post title description. So that's going to be the problem, is that feed URL is going to be wrong. Yeah. Because what we're trying to solve right now is getting to the permalink, because you have to click on, and let me move this around here a little bit. It might make it easier. You will see next to, you'll see I'm going to hover over this X icon. To the left of it is those three pills, three dots, right? Perfect. Now see your feed clearly. Okay, compact, where is it? Post about. Did it go to it? Oh, it opened it. It opened it in a different, in another Chrome browser, because I have the one that I use for monitoring YouTube, and it did it over there. So forgive me if you can't see it. Maybe what if I can drag it just over here? So there it is. That way, when you see what it's showing, it makes sense. So yes, deepgram. Okay. Let me click the three. Let me click the three dots next to it. Yes. I see the three dots. Please click it. And we'll know if it clicked it, because if it clicks it, we should see a little bit of a menu pop over. I see it, but I'm having trouble clicking. Okay, so let me try to click on them with precision. No. Doesn't appear, nothing happened. Let me try to get it I'm gonna try to get this thing some. I'm gonna copy the element. Here's an example of its SVG. We're gonna get it. We're gonna fight it for a little bit, but we're gonna get it. Oh, it didn't take the or did it? Copy that again though, just to be sure. Copy outer HTML. We're gonna make this damn thing work. Yeah, I didn't want it to do that. Hopefully it knows to go back. Okay, yeah, it does. Good. Oh, wait, no, I did post that earlier. walked in. Okay, I'm back. Wife had to come give me a kiss before she and my eldest daughter left. But I see it went to the profile. I don't want it to go to the profile. Yep, go back to the feed. Thank you. I don't want it to be going that whole back and forth. It needs to stay on the feed. But it's working. It's reading the page. Perfect. Now I can see your page. I can see your post about Claude Code. I can see the 3 dots. Yeah, let me click on those. Browse click. Then I'll, okay. And proceed. Okay, we're watching the screen. We're going to make this damn thing work. All right, let's see how well this thing does now. Now that we got it some sample, or a sample, we should hopefully start seeing something, I hope. LinkedIn's hard. You know, the way they, of course, they, X, they all do this dynamic style sheets, things where, so it's almost like every time you load the page, they give you different class variables or class values, and they purposely do it to make it harder to find things. But if, in some cases, you can have AI determine the XY coordinates on an element and have it do it that way. No, I don't want you to go to search. Go back, go back, go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back. No, I don't want you to go there either. Yeah. Never important. Never navigate away from the feed page. Okay, so what does it say here? Perfect. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, important. Never leave the feed page. Yep. Give it some context while we're at it. Yeah, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the hardest one to do. What did it? It's showing a different page. Okay, so it's not there. Is it this one? Oh, okay. It didn't keep it in the tab group. Okay, perfect. Now I can see your feed clearly. I can see the links contained. No, however, no finding. Yeah. Proceed. And this is why it has to eventually build its own script, because this is too painful of a process. Oh, it just proposed a script. Okay. So let's see your reusable extractor. We're going to approve. All right. Let me take over. Proceed with the screenshot, etc. Okay, well, let me try your extractor, though. I also want to see if there's a way to do a virtual mouse or virtual cursor. And see, when it does this thing, because it says the script, here's what I'll do, let me save. Or accept the extractor. And so it makes me wonder if it's actually doing stuff in the background. It's just that it's not bringing that to the front. I'm just going to give it a second before I tell it. So there's are you doing it? Okay. So it just ran something. But since I don't see that one thing popping up, I know it's not getting to it. Oh, okay. Yeah, since I mean... No. Let's first make sure iron down that we can click the three dots. Just the first item in the feed for now. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Happy to chat as I work my way through this. Okay, that's the page. But now, are you able to... I can see it. And see, this is the thing. It says, let me click those three. And I hate the wording of this because it makes you think that it's doing it. Is it trying to? Or is it waiting for me? neither. It can't click and it's not waiting for you. It's overclaiming capability. It doesn't have the browse loop is a hard read only by design the actions that exist or navigate read. There's literally there's not a click. Okay. Well, isn't that nice? This whole time it's been acting like it was able to do something. It wasn't even able to do it. It didn't have the ability because it was a read-only thing. It's all right. Getting closer. That's why we never give up, people. Okay, so the brain now is explicit read-only clause. Instructions. Everything fairly look but don't touch. It needs the ability to click, especially on LinkedIn. Come on, Claude. But we're getting close. I know once we get this ability to click in here that it's gonna. What you're really asking? Yes, I like clicking, but that's one joke. I shouldn't. Fully autonomous. Nope, I need it to be autonomous. I don't want it to always be asking. After it learns how to do it, it needs to be able to do it. And at some point, I'm going to have to address why it's not maintaining. You know, you see how it's in its own tab up here. It doesn't have that blue loopbot group. And we're going to have to address that at some point. And then an upcoming thing I want to do here is I want to be able to group certain bots into a group. Because in Telegram, you can do this thing where you can sort of have them like a horizontal tab list. All right, what are we doing here? It's adjusting the, okay. make me some more coffee here in a second. Any coffee fans in the chat? Yeah, we'll have to. I don't really necessarily. This is the thing I was going back and forth with Claude about, is that this whole AI bot brain. You know, there's stuff in this prompt that talks about permalinks, but maybe I should just leave it there, because my thing is that we should want the cloud side of the browser, or the back end, to be as dumb as possible. That way you can have an agent that could develop his own knowledge, his own brain, his own procedures, and let it be determined how the browser should behave. But we'll let it live with this for now. But interact with the page. Okay, critical. Okay. This might turn out all right. We'll see. Ooh, little mouse icon. Nice. While I was doing that, I want to check on my analytics for, we're looking at today, 126. Yesterday I did 231. But it's only, you know, 122 in the afternoon, so there might be a good chance I might be able to make it my second best day of activity. Because I can tell you, when this thing is running, because once it, so you're seeing a lot of iteration and like working on it to get it to do well. And once it is dialed in, I'm telling you, that's when it really gets fun, because you can let a loop run, build its data, and then you can eventually go into it, and you'll have the stuff that you want to see. You can go in, you can comment, interact, whatever, you know, work on engaging with people, and things just start to get better. And the proof is there. July 5th is when I first started invoking loops to find content. And you see, it went 41, 85, 101, 131. Then I had that day where I had that one tweet that just had like, I don't know, 8,000, it was like 8,000. Let's see what it was. Where is it? We're almost there. There it is, 8,500. Look at that, 86 comments. Like, those are the posts you really hope that you can get. Because when I woke up that morning and I was like, let's go see what's going on, and I opened up freaking Twitter, and it, like, I had so many notifications. And then I just powered through, and I replied to just basically every single one. And that's why you see such a big number in terms of the analytics on this day. That's what that day was all about. So let me show you also. So if I go before the 5th. So let's do June 5th to July 4th. So you see how like we're just kind of up and down, like there's some days, right? So 86, and then if I do the 4th to the 11th, and you see that on the sidebar here, bigger numbers is 240. Those were going down. Those were in the 80s in that other one. So bigger numbers. Now the impressions, I see it's not the same, but I wish there was. Is there a way to? There's not, is there? I was hoping there's a way you could do them side by side, but I guess you can't. But share, like, everything's been just popping. Freaking 1000%. And of course, the thing you never want to do is obviously. Oh wait, what we got here? So we need to take the extension, reload it, restart the work started. Okay, so we're gonna now give it a thing to do. So I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm just gonna tell it to try again. Okay, give it another try now, as you should be able to click. All right, let's wait this thing out. So it's reloaded. Come on. We're gonna get there. We're not gonna give up. So I took the screenshot, which is good. Okay. But see, it's doing it again. Say, proceed with the click. This is that thing that it was talking about, how maybe it's not finding it or something. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, it's on a different page. That's why. No? Oh, it's over here. See, I got to get that fixed. See, just see how easily confusing that was. Yes, I see the 3 dots. Click them. Oh, wait. I think it's thinking the different dots. You see how there's 3 dots right here? I think that's what it's trying to click. That's why. See, that's why it would go there. All right, we're gonna give this thing just a little bit of context. I'm gonna wait for it to reply though. I don't want to introduce any confusion. And then I think you're going after the wrong dots. The second attachment is the one you want. Da, 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 da. All right. Yep, we're probably going to get somewhere now. And frankly, I probably should have noticed those other 3 dots, but given the gray text and everything, that's, yeah. Yes, it is installed and it is active. No. You know what? We're just going to do this just to make it happy. And connected. Come on, come on, come on. Mobile close and the mobile. We were organized. Close. Model. Can you manually click the 3 dots? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do. We're gonna click it. Click it. Yes. And we're gonna get it to build its own extractor, and then we'll get through this. But it was able to get to that link. So if I was to, of course, it keeps jumping to the bottom. I want to click it and show it to you. Where'd it go? So this would be the post that it would have gone to. See, that's perfect. So it just has to build that script that it needs to do it on its own. Oh, did I not approve it? Oh. I need to make it to where anytime it's an approval script, I need to make it to where it's like a, I don't know, like a big red bold border, you know. Okay. Give it a test. All right. This might be the. So it's going to go up here and do this one. So let's see what it does. Extraction array, but it's empty. Jesus. Yeah. Posts are visible. And odds are it's probably going to have to apply its own delay or something to wait for the DOM to load and everything. Okay, so voice agent, yep, deepgram. Problem, the page doesn't include the actual permalinks URLs for these posings. Well, I mean, yes, you're right. Yep, the running, find each, yep, 3 dots. Yes. However, there's a technology. Okay. So if I click, okay, let me go here. Gotta find what's going on here. So that is just a copy link post. Is visible to the full post. starting to look at your screen. I see. Yep. Still connected and active. Come on. Issue Luba got stuck during the share. Presuppose. No. First, prove to me we can click the three dots. Because the reason I'm laughing about this, because if it was clicking them, I would think that we would see, you know, because when you click them, there's supposed to be a you know, a little popover thing. And then, of course, there's always a chance that it's doing it like really fast or something, but no. I know how to do it. I need you to. I have a feeling that this is a context window issue at this point. Let's ask Claude. Does the bot's chat history go? Okay. It only goes back 30. Okay. Change it to 20. I think it's just too much going on there. So I'm going to try to do this where we get an element out of this thing. What is it? to get it, people. Lost connection. How about we do this? Or redo that. Go here. Save and connect. Okay. What? Oh, that's interesting. You see there how I think it's just a timing issue. I really do, because it's not seeing the dots. Why is it lagging like that? And of course, you know, you think about it, if you're LinkedIn, you know, and you're like trying to combat anything that's coming into, you know, automate, odds are there's a purpose delay here. However, didn't get it. Okay, I'm gonna say I closed the tab groups. I closed the tab groups. Try again. See, I should be getting a tool, some sort of tool that says, hey, it's doing something. I'm going to wait. Go start during the gaps while the backend is generating the first one. Look at the desktop delays. Steep. Okay. Event driven. Because I don't think it's giving us the feedback when it's actually looking at stuff. Because it says, let me try browsing your feed again. And then nothing. And I swear, probably what I'm going to do once I can commercialize this, I'm going to build a freaking loop bot. Just it's LinkedIn specific, because this is a pain in the ass problem. Does admit typing from the question is whether the desktop clears the indicator when message arrive, opening a gap until the next phase. Let me check the handler. Okay. Well, then you just go check it. Found it on the real-time clear activity. Let me browse, wipes the indicator. It stays dark. Yep. So it's going to fix it. And we're going to go through this song and dance again. And I'm going to have to go get some coffee here in a second. Sorry, the desktop is just wiped on everything. Okay, so yeah. Fix it, fix it, fix it. Okay. Yep. Oh, the other thing I want to address is that scroll to bottom, because I hate it when it's loading and you want to scroll up to look at something and then it forces the chat to scroll back to the bottom. I hate that experience. It's annoying. You go on Twitter and you see the post, blah, 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 blah. If you're doing this, that means you're doing it wrong. And it's like, it seems like every time somebody does a post like that, they never tell you about what to do right. And it just goes to show they're there for the attention, not to give or share the knowledge. It's annoying. Indicator's going dark because, okay, but it's not root cause. Okay, so, is there anything I need to do? Okay, so we don't really have to do anything to do. So I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to say proceed. Proceed with clicking those 3 dots. Did it open a different one? I don't want to do anything to mess it up. No page. No. Yeah, that's the problem because I had it. Remember, I had it adjust the look or the look back for the chat history. It was originally 30, and I set it back to 20, and that's why this thing is acting like it doesn't know anything right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have it address this. Um, Restart the desktop. All right. While it does that, I'm gonna go make some coffee. I'll be right back. Alrighty. How we looking? How we looking? How we looking? How we looking? Really? Yeah, it's literally acting like it's literally acting like, oh, it doesn't know about it. It's like, well, uh, all this time I've been clicking save extractor, it hadn't been working. What? Yeah, saying that that route is tested and passing, but that means that the desktop's not sending it. Failed. Control O. Got here. Result failed. 422. Yeah. Ooh, we might have to turn it up and use Fable. Whew, if I had to pay for inference, that would have been expensive. God, dog it. We're going to flip the Fable if this thing doesn't start getting its act together. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yep. Yep. So it wasn't saving it. So create a new one. Okay. Yes. All right, so we're going to approve the extractor. And then I want it to double check. Try this again. prompting on the app. So it's approved. There's no extra JavaScript being stored. Yep, I had a feeling that was the problem. And it's probably because if it would have saved, then that button wouldn't be clickable anymore. Okay. Okay. Well, at least it's getting somewhere. Yes. Find me 3. Run it again. I'm going to have it do this one on my X profile. Oh. Didn't expect that. Yep, we'll have to address that in a second because it opened 2 of them. So we're going to close that group. Close that group. Well, I'm probably going to end the stream here in a second. So, thank you all for hanging out. Probably do this again later today or tomorrow. Take care.